Done with sports talk worldwide with some news from the world of sport. So y'all check this out. Well, I've been talking boxing a lot lately. You know, you had the Deontay Wilder fight. Now you got the Anthony Joshua fight. The heavyweights are going down, and it's a lot of things to talk about. So you don't really, right now I've been covering any other sport, really, right? But we're going to have to do this. Now I talk about certain things in my sport videos. What we have here is, an analyst or radio host. I don't really know exactly what he does, but I know he's a radio. He talks on the radio. His name's Tim Ryan, and he was suspended by his company because he was doing a football game on the radio, and he was doing Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is that quarterback right now for the Baltimore Ravens. That's pretty much close to 1,000 yards rushing, about to get the rushing record for a quarterback. And he has a pretty good quarterback rating on top of it. He's the MVP front runner right now. And the guy was doing the game, and Lamar Jackson was running, and he said something. He said, "Hey, with the dark uniform, the dark color of his skin, the football is hidden, and you really can't, it's helping him, to get away." Paraphrasing, but he was talking about his dark skin and the dark uniforms, and it's hard to catch this guy because he's elusive, right? So he was suspended for that, and not right away. It's because 4 or 5 days in between, people start talking about it, and then they said, "Well, we got to suspend him." I forgot where he was working for. My bad on that, because it's not really the issue. When I heard that, I was looking at some Lamar Jackson highlights, which if you ain't, you better better start, right? And I heard him say that, and I was like, "Ooh, man, something's gonna happen with that." First thing, brother, that you say that, and anybody, you think, "Okay, so what? So what? The color of his skin, But I was thinking also, he's right though, probably. The dark color of your skin and whatever. It's certain things. Let me go boxing for a minute. Mikey Garcia, a good boxer, Mexican American boxer. I like Mike Garcia. He's a hero in my opinion when you're talking boxing, for things that he does in boxing ring and things that he does. I think he's a hero because he's trying to unify divisions and go up in divisions. But he was about to fight Adrian Broner. And he said something to the effect of Adrian Broner looks like a gorilla, right? That didn't bother me either, because Adrian Broner looks like a gorilla, right? Bottom line, doesn't mean that all blacks look like gorillas. Adrian Broner looks like a gorilla. His head is shaped just, they make big little baby King Kong movie, right? You can't really say those things though. You have to watch out because of the climate that we have now. So people can't use their eyes and see. You can't say stuff like that. And that's a problem because of the climate. Because I know Mike Garcia, he didn't, he's probably not racist at all. I would really be surprised if Mike Garcia is racist. Adrian Broner looks like a little gorilla. And if he doesn't, holla at me. He does, right? So I didn't really take that bad either. Same thing with this statement. Now, y'all know that I will go, anybody that I feel is racist, which I'm about to do in a minute. The bottom line is, though, because of the climate, because of this obvious racism that's going on, and because of the divide in America right now, things like this are magnified. I know the guy was just talking, "Hey, man, damn, you can barely see the ball because of the skin that's in his arm. You don't know which side it is, and this and that. We got to catch the guy." And he probably wasn't thinking racist at that particular moment. But because of the climate, because everybody is watching what's going on with the impeachment of the president, right? And people right now, they will ask a person like, "Hey, why you're just doing this because you hate the president? Oh, you must dislike the president." They're asking witnesses and stuff. You dislike the president. You said something against the president a few months ago, right? Like, if you would ask me, "Do you dislike the president?" It resounding, hell yeah. And don't ask me, no, patronize me by like what I'm not supposed to. It doesn't matter what type of person you are. There's only one or two type of people that would still find Donald Trump to be someone they would like, follow, support, any of those. If you're still doing that, you are racist. I didn't say extremely or very, but you are, because something would have irked you by now, right? The way he goes in on women. What are women still voting for him for? Imagine. There has to be a motion that's bigger than respecting women, because he obviously has it with the payments to Stormy Daniels, cheating on his wife, which could happen, but you're about to become president, you're paying Stormy Daniels, your right-hand lawyer is in jail now for protecting you because of it. That was a problem already. Then you've been heard saying, hey, you could touch him because you're famous, you can touch him on their pussy when you want to, right? You've heard that. You've heard him tell people to go back to where they come from, women. You tell them, and several things about women, right? So women should not really be behind him. Women of color, definitely not, because they're supposed to go back to where they come from. Remember that? So women should have an issue with him, right? Mexicans, blacks, anything that's not white should have an issue. We're going to build a wall. Who says we're going to build a wall and have another country pay for it? Who screams that in the audience? Hey, we're going to have Mexico scream. Who? What kind of people? Right? Think about it. So we have that, right? Stopping people on the border, putting them in cages, right? People that are life-threatening diseases, sending them letters that they got to get out, even though they can only get their treatment in America. These are just things I know as a layman, right? You would be appalled by that. I think it's impossible for a black person to really support the guy still. It's probably impossible. If you are, you just can't say it because he's done enough about them. Now, we just talked about football right now. Those guys kneeling because other little young blacks are being shot by police officers. Shot. Police officers know how to wield a damn gun. They don't shoot in lower extremities. If someone's running away and he's 14 years old, you do not have to kill him. Matter of fact, you don't even have to shoot him. But if you're going to, it could be in the lower extremities. And it doesn't, and it happens over and over. And they're just kneeling, instead of sitting, kneeling by the national anthem. People, in the name of patriotism, will say that's, get up. Call them SOBs. You sons of bitches, get up. You need to be fired. Everybody likes that. Not everybody. The same type of person that still supports him are in agreement with him saying that, right? So we don't really have to go in blacks. Blacks are obvious, right? Central Park 5, kids that found out that they didn't rape a white woman. They didn't. After finding out that they didn't rape a white woman, he was able to still put them in jail. For the other ones that didn't. Now, if you're a brother, you know that that's happened to you before. That's happened to me before. Somebody else robbed somebody. I had to go to jail for a minute, right? I went to sleep on them. Be straight up, because I knew I ain't done nothing. Y'all handle y'all business. Holler at me. I ain't got no time to be scared or nothing up in here. I'm going to sleep. You get with me when you find out what happened, right? But, those are the kind of things that happen. So let's move on from brothers. Anyway, so you got all of these things going on. So you just had those saying they're patriots, right? With patriotism, the flag is important. Well, you don't care that your president is dealing with Russia, do you? You don't care that he was voted in because Russians hacked the elections. That doesn't alarm them, does it? Right? We have all the proof it is that he was dealing with Russia, right? No one cares. Still, right? Everyone that's around President Trump is a criminal. So do you care about right or wrong, justice, right, and crime? With his lawyers in prison, is he everybody, right? Security advisor, right? All of them. Papadopoulos, Michael Flynn. I can think of names as a layman. All of these people are in jail or on their way. His lawyer right now, Giuliani's in trouble. The guys Giuliani was working with, Les Parnas and the other guy, the two Shreks, that are definitely criminals, are indicted, about to go to jail. Anybody in the cabinet, the Secretary of Labor, Acosta, remember him? He was the guy who let Jeff Epstein really go. Jeff Epstein, nothing really happened to him. He let him go. He was Secretary of Labor. Until people started putting pressure on him, he just had to resign. But he was called in. Right? Our Attorney General, the highest guy, Barr. Before William Barr was another guy, Whitaker. Whitaker has a $25 million lawsuit for cheating old people. I'm keeping everything short. I'm just saying that's who he put in charge of all of the police. Right now we have William Barr, who has done tons of things. William Barr is the guy that looks like John Goodman, a little small version of John Goodman. Right? He won't even do his. He's supposed to be partisan. He doesn't care about Republican or Democrat. That's what he's supposed to do. He's not. comes out before the Mueller report and tell the people what they're supposed to think about the Mueller report before they read it, and other things, right? Right? You got the Republicans in all the Republicans won't even say anything about all of these things that have happened with Ukraine. We know that Ukraine. And then they come up with the word quid pro quo. No, bribery. You're not supposed to do that to a new president. If we give him money, we're fighting Russia now over there. They took Crimea from Ukraine already. They're fighting Russia. You hold off the aid that Congress has said that he's supposed to get. All right, until he investigates Joe Biden and his son, which is investigatable. But say some other names about. Say something. But do any of us know any other names in the Ukraine that's supposed to be investigated? No, just that. That was not supposed to be. You're not supposed to do that. They're at war. And a good example for people that can't follow that is you have a national disaster in your state, and you're supposed to be getting some money. And the president calls your governor and says, hey, until you do something for me, you're not getting that money. Right? Because maybe, you know how people don't act like they don't feel something, because until it happens to them. That's what we got. Empathy. That's empathy. But maybe I have to let's bring it across so if you get a tornado in your state, right, and it messed up everything, or a hurricane, and the president won't give you your money until that governor does something for him. That's what happened, people, right? And all the Republicans who are in charge of your states acting like they don't see that. And it's obvious. It's obvious. It's proven 1,000 times over, right? Those are the things. So what happens is you have a split. And listen, don't get me started. If you guys want more examples, I could go. Here's something. In your White House right now, there's over 30 people working in there that shouldn't have security clearances, right? Top secret information they're getting access to, and they wouldn't have if they didn't bypass the normal procedure to do that. They shouldn't have. They're not eligible, really, and they still getting security clearances. Just one of those things would be bad enough, right? But it's all of those things, and we're still ignoring it. Then people go to his rallies, and you know what? And this is the bottom line. They go to President Trump's rallies, and they put on shirts talking about, we would rather be Russian than Democrats. What is that telling you? What does Russians and those people who follow Trump have in common? Boom. They're white. Right? They're white. And these people can't see anything of it. Democrats are trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, why we call them Democrats? We're calling them people who try to if the president was able to just do what he wants to, then we don't need Congress and we don't need the judges. And if we did that, then that's the end of the democracy. So all you soldiers out there that are shooting and don't know why, you need to be asking questions too. Right? Because what are we shooting at? This dude is just making us do anything. And I didn't even start about all the other crimes he does, like taking our airplanes, Air Force One, and landing it somewhere it ain't supposed to be, just because it's close to one of his resorts, and filling it up with gas that's 2 times as expensive if he would go to a military base, right? Things like that, or wanting the G7 next meeting to be at his own place. Those are enriching yourself from the presidency. There are so many things. So when they ask you, hey, you hate the president, you're damn right. And anybody, don't ask a normal person that. Like, yeah, I said something about the president. You're damn right. That's patronizing somebody. Like, well, you have something against the president. Whoever doesn't has a other problem. And it's not a small problem. It's a huge problem. Right? It's a huge problem. And it's the same problem we've always been having. Now, let's move it back to sport. Basketball team, the LA Clippers. Don Sterling, president. Don Sterling didn't want his lady, or one of them, right, older guy, didn't want one of them hanging around black people in public. Now, he's an NBA trainer. Black people bringing him money every year, right? Don't. And you know who he's talking about? Not some black dude on the street that barely got into place. Magic Johnson. Because he still feels Magic Johnson is slaving. Don't give a damn. Don't even hang around Magic Johnson in public. So that's the thought pattern. And all these crimes that these people are doing, those Republicans that are, because they're involved. We're finding out more and more they're involved. And with the crime that they do, they give it cool ass names, like white collar crime. But the dude who robs a liquor store got to go under the jail, and this white collar crime keep getting away with it, right? That's what's going on. That's the bottom line. And that's the climate right now. And because of that climate, and we won't do nothing about it, people that are high up, the total high, the senators, won't do anything about it. That's the climate. And every damn black person or Mexican person or anybody that ain't white is not naive. Okay? They're not naive. And they're sick of it. And that goes back to Tim Ryan saying something like that. You have to know the climate. It shouldn't be this climate, right? And, black people are not vindictive, right? Because if it was, we'd have a war already, right? We're not vindictive. We'd be, the crazy old white people, they're just a little racist. Just bear with them. That's how we really roll, right? That's why I am capable of hearing Tim Ryan say that and have enough empathy to know that man's just not necessarily racist because he said that, because that's the fact. Damn, shoot, dark uniforms, dark dude, and a football in his hand, with, and he's moving real quick. That is a problem, right? That is a problem. Or Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner looks like a gorilla. And Adrian Broner looks like a gorilla. And here's the funny thing, Adrian Broner ain't no ugly brother or nothing like that. He just kind of look like a gorilla. But so if we can get this president thing down, well, we can stop dividing everybody. And if you're extremely racist, then you need to start negotiating land and give them extremely racist people some land, and just put them there all together. And the rest of us, can live and flourish, and just understand that they're gonna be racist. If not, we're gonna have to learn how to live together, and it's gonna start with impeaching this damn president, so people can get back to a business as usual. If not, things like this, with Tim Ryan saying something about Lamar Jackson and the football, is going to be magnified because the climate is volatile right now. And it's starting directly at the top. So Tim Ryan is suspended. Will be others. We have to all watch our mouth right now because the people that should be saying something are not saying anything. Y'all feeling that? Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.